Okay guys, my next box is from Japan. I got taxed on this one. So yeah, a few things in here that were quite nice. So let's get into. Okay, where should we start? I think there's 4 shells in here. Okay, right, this is, I can see what you guys can see there. I had seen this for a while and I like the AE86, but the Falcon version is probably my fondest out of them all. I'd seen this one knocking about for ages, a bit less now though, and I don't know, I didn't really like the decals. There's nothing, to me, it was nothing special, but I think I gave it a second look because things were a bit dry and I thought, well, I'm making an order, let me have a look. And what really kind of pulled me in, so as I say, I wasn't a massive fan of them decals because they're pretty plain, just white on blue. It's got a little skull thing on the top there. Don't worry about the glare guys, we'll get that sorted for you. Okay. So I wasn't a massive fan of that. I feel that the Falcon version was just beautiful. The paintwork was so nice. But what drew me in is when I looked closer at this car, it had metallic paintwork. So that's a metallic blue and I like metallic. So that's why I went for it. So this is part of the Formula D Toyota A86. And this is the number 48 Team Ratax. Okay. So yeah, that kind of did grow on me. There was a point where you did see these all over eBay, but it's become a lot less now. And the price has almost doubled. So, yeah. I think it was the metallic paintwork that drew me in because I wasn't massively interested in that. When I saw that it was metallic, I thought, oh, I like metallic. Okay, well, let's take out something else from this box. Right, so I take out a used one. Okay. This obviously might not be in perfect condition, but it was cheap as chips, and I liked the colour scheme. So I thought, the ones that I buy that I like this, guys, I'll just use them to have a blast around with, without a care in the world. I don't care if I trash these, smash these, jump these. Yes, I jump Mini Zs. I need to do a video of that. So, come on. Package this up pretty well. Come on, out we come, out we come. So I don't think the paintwork is brilliant, but I did like the colour. Oh, still got mirrors, that's a shock. Right, could do with a bit of a clean up. But there, McLaren P1, that's like the Kawasaki colours. This bright green and black, which looks pretty cool in my opinion. So obviously it's been used. There's little bits missing at the front. Spoilers missing on the back, but not a biggie. Still looks alright to me. I don't mind driving that around and blasting it. Might even look good in a race vid. Let's see. But yeah, there's bits missing. So like the lenses for the lights. Looks like some of the fins in the front splitter seem to be missing. But yeah, let me find some body. Put a body underneath that. Should look kind of cool, guys. Right, okay. So check them out on the display stand, guys. If you haven't subscribed, get subscribed. There's some crazy stuff about to come. This is just the beginning. You know, a lot of guys thought, I thought, I did that last, I think it was a 60, I got to 60 and I thought, right, okay. And I was talking about winding down and this and that, and people like were sending messages that, oh no, is it coming to an end? And I was like, no. I'm a junkie, man. Kyosho crack got me good. Anyhow, subscribe to Mossy5734, guys. Be ready and get notified, guys. Gonna miss out on some cool stuff. Okay, check them out on the display stand. Okay, guys, so here we've got the Retax Formula D Toyota AE86. And as I've mentioned, wasn't one that I thought about getting, but it's got lovely paintwork, guys. You just don't notice it. It is metallic. So yeah, so the A86 generation Toyota Corolla Levine and Toyota Sprinter Tureno. It's basically a small lightweight coupe introduced in 1983, and it was like the 5th generation Toyota Corollas. And this had a 1600cc engine, and it was a rear wheel drive. And the A represents the engine that came in the car. It was a 4A series. The E represents the Corolla. The 8 represents the 5th generation E80 series. And 6 represents the variation within the generation. That made no sense whatsoever, but okay, that's quite interesting. Play that back. Get that in your head. But yeah, so this so in Japan, the A86 was also known as the Hachiroku, which is Japanese for 86. And it was exclusive to Toyota Japan dealerships. And the word truno is Spanish for thunder, and Levine is Old English for lightning. Okay, they've used quite a few languages. So this was quite a popular choice, guys, in Group A and Group N racing, especially in the rally circuits. And even today, there's lots of rallying clubs that are still racing this car till this day. So they're saying that part of the continued appeal of the A86 for motorsports is its rear drive configuration, a feature that's not available in most newer lightweight coupes. So yeah, in the Group A World Rally, the 1600cc class, the 4AGZE engine was popular. So yep, this is a platform that's really popular, especially like in places like Finland, where there's competitive. It's quite competitive in the F Cup competition for naturally aspirated two-wheel drive cars. So they did a space frame version of this car in the Truno, which is at the JGTC, with a 3S GTE engine, and that was a turboed engine that was pumping out 300 horsepower. But I don't think it did that well because it scrapped it. It was lightweight. It was about 950 kg. And they say that the setup of this car was well suited for the kind of cornering that you need in drift cars. So this had been called one of the drift kings in Japan, and it's still a car that's used on drift shows and competitions. So the initial D anime, if you haven't seen it, guys, there's a nice, and it's old, but there's a nicer version, a newer version that's out, that's been out a while. But it's, when I originally saw that, I thought, oh, I hate the animation, but there's a newer version that they did, and in that, the character Takumi He uses his father's 886 for racing and making his tofu deliveries. Yes, he does. With his little cup of water on the side so it doesn't spill. His dad was training him how to drive and he didn't even know it. And yeah, so watch the thing anyway. He'll pick it up. So yep, so this obviously got resurgence through that anime, which is pretty big, and video games like Gran Turismo, Forza Motorsports, Tokyo Extreme Racer for the Sega Dreamcast, Grand Theft Auto. So yeah, there's been like a resurgence in interest in these cars. And if you look at vids on YouTube, you'll see that a lot of the drifters that are drifting Mini Zs, they've all got the 886. We'll leave it there. Okay guys, so here we've got the McLaren P1 shell, and I was so happy when they brought the shell out because it had been a while that they hadn't brought out a sports car, and I really wanted them to bring out the Aventador and the Lamborghinis, and I really wanted the P1, and they brought it out. I like this, I like that colour scheme. As I mentioned, it's got that Kawasaki kind of colour scheme, and it looks awesome on performance cars, that green and black. And this car's got like a Mad Max kind of feel to it. It looks raw, it looks rough. Do you know what I mean? Obviously it's been used, you can tell by the front of the cars, guys, how if they've got damage, and it's probably been raced, and that's why you can see he's not having the best of days. But it's got a real raw, gnarly looking kind of element to that car. I'm going to touch it up a little bit with a Sharpie because the lines of black aren't as good as what I want. There's bits where the paintwork has basically dripped onto the green, so I'm just going to get a marker on that, line it all up, make it a bit nicer, maybe put a spoiler on the back, I'll see, but love it. You know, it's still a nice shell, and it was pretty cheap. I don't know if it was about £8 or something like that. But yeah, it's custom, looks alright. But what I was planning is that I'm gonna maybe mod it up a little bit. I might put a different spoiler on it, might put different decals to make the black stand out a little bit more. But I'm thinking about it. That back just looks crazy, there's no lights. It's all just been filled in and painted black. That's got a real street crazy kind of look to it. Anyhow, but yeah, it still caught my eye and I still liked it, and I thought, you know what, can't go wrong with that in the collection. And either I can use it for racing because I won't use my nice shells, but if I was to ever race, that would probably be something that I would use, or kit it out a little bit, make it really look gnarly, and put it in some race vids. I am planning on doing real drag racing with my Mini Zs because I've got quite a few that are fast, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna make a little track and just drag race them. So yeah, that's a shell I wouldn't mind using. Right guys, if you like that and the stuff that you've just seen, there's plenty more, but you need to be subscribed and notified. If you are notified, you are not knowing, guys, when there's some crazy shells that are on that display, and there's some really rare ones, guys. There's some stuff that the rarest Mini Z, and one that you're gonna love. It's totally custom, airbrushed, really nice. But anyhow, get subscribed, get notified, Mossy5734, guys, and I will check you on the next vids. Okay.